I'm definitely an advocate for children not starting out dating too early because you have no idea what you're doing.
I dated young.
I remember specifically my first real boyfriend. I was 12.
Let's
I would
see.
go to different states, different cities, different area codes.
In other words, she had the sauce and the juice. The whole bowl was hers. When I turned 16, I went to my mom and I said, Mom, I think I want to start kissing. Didn't know nothing, but I remember having that conversation with her, like, I'm ready to kiss.
It's her face.
But it was an open door policy. I had that open door to be able to talk to her.
Yeah, date. Nobody said go out here and have sex with and bang everything you see. But what I'm saying is it is healthy to date.
See, my experience was kind of single home-ish. So I didn't really have like a vision of what I wanted and what I didn't want as far as a man is concerned.
What's up, y'all? I'm Tami Valier.
I'm Shiy.
I'm Emoni Love.
And this is Be For Real.
So, we back again. And I think today we're going to talk about... Why you laughing at me? Dang. I think we should talk about the question that everybody ends up asking themselves. What do I want? What do I want in a relationship? And am I ready for what I'm asking for? So I think we should ask our viewers that. Like, what do you want? What do you want in a relationship? And are you ready for what you're asking for?
I think that's good.
That's loaded.
Yeah, it really is. Oh yeah. I think we can only approach it because y'all know we got to be real.
Yes.
And we got to talk about what comes with all of those thoughts. Like, what brings us to that place of, like, what do I want? So let's start with the wisdom in the room. Tami Valier.
Yeah,
Because
go.
you've had years and years
Oh
of
my God.
trying to figure out, because we forever changing as women.
Forever
like
changing.
Yes.
we always walking into a new season of our life. With every age, you used to tell me that. With every age, she used to say, with every age, you're gonna change. Like, your mind as a woman changes in some kind of way, and that's why our relationships are always changing. Because you're not gonna stay the same. He's not gonna stay the same.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So let's start with Tami Valier. Like,
I'm definitely an advocate for children not starting out dating too early because you have no idea what you're doing. And so if you start out too early, you think about it. I hear people saying, well, they let the kids date at 12. They let the kids date.
Yeah.
You don't have no idea what you want.
yeah.
And so I think I was able to date at 16. Now, snuck and dated at 14.
See, she snuck.
But I couldn't call him my boyfriend until I was 16. So from 16.
But you knew what it was.
Oh, yeah.
Ew. I'm about to throw up. Dang.
But I think you start out wanting, you just want somebody to be, my boyfriend. So that's what I mean. A woman evolves from 16, 26, 36, 46. And I can't wait to hit 56.
Come on.
Because it get better and better, okay?
Yeah.
But I think that's how you learn yourself and figure out what you want. By all the failed relationships. And you say, okay, I didn't like that. And that's what I tell my kids when they're dating. You don't get too serious too quick. This is a process of how you learn about what you want. What I want in a man, okay. I dated somebody my height. I think I want somebody taller. Okay. Okay, then you go, okay, well, I kind of like somebody that ain't going to boss me but know how to handle me. So you figure out what you want. And then you need to be figuring you out You know, you need to be figuring you out. And like you said, if you're ready. And like I said, I don't think that you're ready to, get serious in a relationship at 16. Kids dating at 16, calling, acting like the young man is your husband. Or you got, no, you figure it out. You figuring things out. Let's not get too serious too early. So I think you figure out what you want by dating, and then you evaluate how it ended, why it ended. What is it that I didn't like about this young man? What is it that I liked about him? And so you take the things that you figured out that you liked about him. Those are the things you like in a man or in a woman. And then when you date and you see those qualities, and then the things that you figure out, okay, he do this and the other guy did it and I didn't like that. Yeah, this ain't gonna be the one for me. So I think those things should be discussed, especially if your children are dating, and they need to know. I think that's a healthy way. I think as parents, sometimes we're scared to tell the kids how to date because we don't want them to date. Even if they're not at the age where they can date, you still should be having that conversation with them about what to expect when you start dating. So they'll already know, not to just jump out there and be like, oh, shoot, like a kid in a candy shop. I want this, I want that. So you don't even know what to look for. Like I used to tell my boys, like they have sickle cell trait. So I used to tell them, look, when you start dating this girl, you like her, your first sight, you like what you see. In this conversation, I need you to say, so I have the sickle cell trait. Do you know if you have it? And I started having that with them as early as that I thought that they could understand what I'm saying. Because that's very important. Because if you have the sickle cell trait and you date somebody with the sickle cell trait, then the baby's going to have the disease.
That's right.
And so I will always talk to them about that. And so even like if I get a little nervous and they date and I said, did you ask her if she had the sickle trait? Ma, yeah, I was like, okay. Because that's very important to me. Yeah, we're going to love our kids, but we don't want to, bring them. And if you've already fallen in love with somebody and they had the sickle cell trait, then it is what it is. We have to go with that. But I'm saying, have a conversation. If you know to have the conversation, then you can eliminate it. And I tell my boys, she's fine, and it's gonna be another one fine that's coming right along. So I think the conversation is important to have with the kids even before they get to the age where they can start dating.
So let's basically, what you want in a relationship by dating.
Yes,
and getting to know what you want. You need to date. Meaning not being serious with one person, like off
and that's
gate.
okay.
Like, you just starting to date, just date. So I guess this would be advice for mothers to give to their young kids, like to their young daughters or their sons. Date and figure out what you like instead of getting serious too quickly, and then spend all that time with one person and you don't really know what you like.
It's okay to date. I think too, when kids start dating, they think I automatically got to get locked in with one person. And I have never told my kids that, especially my boys. Because you 16 and dating. And it seemed like the girls that they would date back in the day, they would get into a relationship, they would be like 14, 15. Now, I was against that, okay? But they wasn't with me at the time. But in the conversation, me trying to guide them through it, those young ladies at 14 and 15 and 16 they acted like they were married, and they had to be locked in. And I was totally against that. Like, y'all need to be, it's okay to have friends. It's okay to date. There's nothing wrong with it. I think people say, okay, we don't be dating a whole lot of girls. Yeah, date. Nobody said go out here and have sex with and bang everything you see. But what I'm saying is it is healthy to date because that is a process of learning what you like
and what you don't
what you don't like.
Roger is the way you say it.
What's happening when you get home?
Sleepless nights, slightly depression, going through moments of anxiety.
So how have you gotten to a place where you're okay with that?
I haven't. The feeling of loneliness or feeling of just being alone itself is it's hard.
What has been the thing that you faced that hurt the most?
Being lied to. Being led on. I don't think my expectations is too high.
What are yours? Let's go!
Well, if I'm the problem, let me know.
Ooh. Are you single? Mm-hmm. So men out there, if you want Gabby, keep it straight up.
Yeah, keep it straight up now.
If you enjoyed this clip and would like to enjoy more, search the RXS Podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts, or watch the RXS Podcast on RXS Entertainment YouTube channel.
And can I say something? I dated young. Look, when I turned 16, I went to my mom and I said, Mom, I think I want to start kissing. Didn't know nothing, but I remember having that conversation with her, like, I'm ready to kiss.
It's her face.
But it was an open door policy. I had that open door to be able to talk to her, not really knowing how comfortable I would be, because I was definitely uncomfortable telling her. But I knew that if I'm about to take this journey and I'm about to start kissing folks, not everybody, y'all. I was dating one person, but I was dating one person, and I knew I felt that feeling. And she always said, if you get that feeling, then you could tell me. We could talk about it. And so I went in the room and I was like, Mom, can I talk to you about something? I'm ready. I want to kiss. I think I'm old enough to kiss. What? Now, God knows I wish I wouldn't have. I wish if I could go back and talk to 16-year-old Money, I would have said, don't start kissing at 16. Because it just awakens so many other desires that you're not ready for at 16.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't advise 16-year-old girls. Now, we're going to do what we want to do because we fast at that age. It's just inevitable. You start, because your body start changing, your mind start changing. That's the beginning of womanhood, really. Because you start noticing stuff about yourself. You're like, oh, snap. Like, you get your period and you're just like, you start feeling yourself a little bit. And you're like, I want to kiss. Like, I'm dating. It's weird to date somebody and not be affectionate. So, yeah. But back to what you were saying, because this is really good, I think. And it's really, we're going to pass it to my sister PB. But I think that... we need to, like, share our experiences.
Yeah.
So when you was dating at 14, right? 14, 16, what was your story? Because I think before people date, they need to know what they want in life, period. So do you think it affected your ability to know what you wanted because you was in a relationship with somebody else?
So... Well, I started dating at 14 because I saw somebody I liked, but I wasn't able to go out and date. Like, when I say date, I mean we could talk on the phone. And the only time I may see him, I played softball and volleyball, was if we went to their school. So that's healthy. So now when I turned 16, now he can come to the house and come pick me up. But how do you know? Which is a good question. What do you like when you just start dating? Okay, so my daddy is a big man. Most of the men in my family are big men, tall men. So are all my brothers. So that's the first example I have, right?
Of what you want.
I see him with my mom. I see what they look like. He's tall. She's tall, but she's shorter than him. And that's the image I got. I see them being affectionate. I see them loving on each other, and that's the image of a man that I feel like I want. So that's my first thing that I'm going to be attracted to, because that's my father, the image. So I went for big man, muscles. Okay.
Don't we all?
My daddy got muscles, and I want muscles. Okay, I want my man to have muscles. I see him pick my mama up. Oh, yeah, that's what I want. So... So my first boyfriend, I got the muscles, but I didn't so much get the height. Okay. I was like, so that's the process. Okay. So he got the muscles. Don't so much got the height, but I like the way he treat me. Gentleman. So that's what I started out with. And so from that I took This is my first boyfriend. So from that, I like the way he treats me. He treats me like a lady. He opens the door for me. And this is a young man doing this. Not only did he open the door, he would open the door, put my seatbelt on. So I'm like,
Come on. What?
Okay.
Your seatbelt?
Yeah. He would open the door, reach across, put the seatbelt on. I was like, I like this. So that's a check mark to my list.
That's
like,
a good first experience.
Right. It's a good first experience. He was a gentleman. So the only thing, like I said, the height. And like, look, I remember us being somewhere, like, I think we went to a funeral or something. We was at the graveyard, and this little kid walked out and said, this little kid walked out and was like, he's shorter than you. Why you with him?
What? Kids have no filter.
Ruthless.
And we just laughed, and he was like, get on somewhere. Flung him like a little kid. I think the little boy was from Kenya, so he just said, get on somewhere.
He had to be shamed.
He's shorter than you.
But like but
like what? They don't know no better.
right. But he was just at first he stared, and I said, what? He was like, why you with him? He's short. What?
Dang.
But so those are the qualities that I saw that I liked. And so when their relationship dissolved, then your mind begin to think. Once you go through your little healing process, so then you figure out, okay, so this is what I liked about that person. This is what I didn't like. And then kind of go from there. That's my experience. And that has changed over the years from 18 to 28 to 38. All those qualities change. And then you get to this age and be like, it ain't so much about a whole lot of yang. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he's God-fearing, he loves the Lord, he treats me like a lady, he treats my kids, family-oriented. Those are the things you start looking at this age. You know, all in with the physical qualities that you like, that you're attracted to. But like I said, things change over the years. But that's my experience, my first experience. It was a good one.
Well, okay.
Come
my
on.
turn. I want to start kind of like my childhood. I didn't have the same experience that Tami had. See, my experience was kind of single home-ish experience. So I didn't really have like a vision of what I wanted and what I didn't want as far as a man is concerned. I would see different men and, you know, experience different walks of life, men figures as I grew up. But I didn't have I had my papa, but my papa is an older man, you know? So my first instinct wasn't really, I'm looking for looks. I'm more so looking for what feels good to me and what I can actually call my own.
Yes.
And that was what was important to me. Also, I knew what I wanted when I was younger. Like once I turned 12, I knew exactly what kind of man I wanted. I didn't want I wanted somebody who was interested in what I was interested in, and I was interested in music, and that was it.
So that was your dream?
Yeah, that's all I cared about. Music and writing. Like, I went through a spell of, I had several, I don't feel like they're boyfriends. I've had several of people that I would communicate with because I traveled since I was really 7 years old. And I would go to different states, different cities.
Why are you laughing?
I would go to different states, different cities, different area codes. So, you know, You young,
Right.
especially being 12. Girl, I was fine at 12. I'm not going to, hold you. I was cute.
In other words, she had the sauce and the juice. The whole bowl was hers.
But here's the thing, like, I was very particular. I was very particular because I knew exactly what I wanted. So anybody that approached me, they had to approach me a certain type of way, and you had to like be a certain type of human being for me to interact with you. When did I start kissing?
Where Mama Shiy
Mama,
at?
please don't.
Tell all the business.
I don't remember, but I was young. Okay, I was real young, and I remember specifically my first real boyfriend. I was 12, and I was in Mississippi, and I remember kissing him. I don't see how Emoni had a conversation with Tami and said, "Mom, I'm ready to kiss." My mother, she had an open door policy too, but I was scared. I was scared.
Oh, I was scared.
You know what I'm saying? I was really scared, but it's not one of those things where I would say, "Mom, I'm ready to date. Mom, I'm ready to talk to so and so." But my mama was always with me, so she'll see it. She'll see it and she'll monitor everything. And I couldn't go nowhere. I couldn't do nothing, but that was still my experience. So I didn't really have a visual experience. I had to create my own emotional experience. And it didn't take me long because I ended up seeing my husband. Well, he saw me prior to, but I ended up talking to my husband at 16. So my experience is a little different. I didn't really have like time to date because I was either working, I was either at school, or I was either doing music. And I didn't have time to really figure that out. So I had to figure it out after I got married.
Rajay is the way you say it.
At the end of the day, I would need to be comfortable with myself more. And because I felt like in order for me to be my true self, or in order for me to have a big impact on the world, I would need to be with a group of people that I know, when that's not the case. I was kind of scared at first because I felt like I was going to miss them. My parents have told me many times that I have gifts and I need to use it, and like people wish they could do what I do, and I was like, I don't want to do that. Since I was really young, I really like to speak and make people feel better in life, and it's just something I enjoy. Hi, this is Nay, and that was Nay's Place. If you want to catch more, search Nay's Place on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and RXS Entertainment YouTube channel.
And so that shows the dynamic of like, sometimes you do find your sweetheart in high school.
Absolutely.
Like sometimes you do run into your soulmate at a young age, but it's all about how you manage it. So how did you manage it?
Trials, tests. Like we literally had to grow up together.
That's
like
real.
Wow.
we literally had to, it's like tugging and pulling. Like we literally had arguments all the time, crying all the time.
Because you're kids.
Yeah, we were children.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have no examples, y'all.
Yeah, right.
Like even my husband didn't have any examples.
Right.
Yeah.
He didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to treat me. He didn't know how to just hone into what I liked. He didn't know that I wanted to be around him 24/7 all the time. Like even though in our like dating process which was over a course of a couple months, like it was like I would say like 16 months. We didn't really get time to like really spend time together. The time that we had, we were both musicians. So our interaction was very, I don't want to say vague, but it was kind of in passing a little bit.
But you saw him though.
Yeah.
You noticed him and he noticed you.
Well, he noticed me at 9.
What?
When I came up here to sing one time, he noticed me. Well, I sung out here all the time, but he noticed me at 9 years old, and I didn't know anything about him. I was singing, and his stepdad stepped to me when I was 12 and said, "Hey, my stepson is in love with you, and he said he gonna marry you." No lie. No joke.
Girl, what?
He said, "My stepson is in love with you." And he said he's going to marry you. I'm like, get my face.
Like, I'm 12.
Okay.
I feel like brats. Get out of
Yeah.
here.
I was like, what? Are you serious? But,
It's beautiful.
It is.
yeah. So then like 2 years later, a mutual friend introduced us and we became cool, but we didn't take it any further. And then 2 years after that, we met up again in Birmingham, Alabama. Because we're both musicians. So we met up again in Birmingham, Alabama. And that's when he shot his shot. And from that point on, we've been together ever since.
What a beautiful story.
Yeah, it's
is.
a beautiful story. But it's full of
Of seasons.
of seasons.
Seasons.
That's right. It is completely full of seasons, y'all. And that's pretty much my experience. Highs and lows, like depression, sadness, happy days, children, trying to figure it out, not knowing which way to turn, not knowing what to say, trying to understand his love language and my love language, trying to learn his way of communicating versus my way of communicating. And I think my way of communicating is better, and he think his way of communicating is better. What we should do as a couple. I don't feel like you should talk to people like this, and I don't feel like you should go and hang out with these type of people.
Right.
Yeah, so we trying to figure out like what works for us as a union to coexist.
Yeah.
Right.
And actually like each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been together for almost 15 years. Next year will be almost 15 years, but I meant next week will be almost 15 years together, but 13 years married.
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
That's awesome.
So
That's a blessing. But you know what? I was listening to everything that you were saying that y'all was going through. But do you know that we're going to go through that anyway?
Yes.
So I said it's beautiful because y'all decided to go through it together.
Together.
You're going to go through it anyway. You just got to figure out, you got to make a choice. Do I want to go through that with this person? And you move on. You still going to go through those things. But the beautiful thing about your story is y'all said, we're going to go through this together.
Yeah.
But we're going to go through it anyway. We just got to figure out the person that I want to go through it with.
Yeah.
Because all those things are going to happen. Trials, tribulations, ups, downs, figuring out your love language, all of that stuff. So it's a beautiful story.
Yeah, so basically, y'all not gonna hear my story this time.
What?
Because I needed my sister and mother to talk. But this is what I want to say. It's so very important to know what you want as a person,
Right.
in general. Not just about relationships, but like Shiy was saying, she loved music. She knew from day one that that's what she wanted. Me and my mother here have talked, and she loved music. We all singers. So all of our desire at a young age was to be a singer, an artist, a producer, somewhat a musician, be involved in music for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Relationships come and go. You have to figure out what you want, but you have to know who you are. So I encourage all of our listeners, all of our viewers, figure out what you want in life, in general, in this season, who you are now. What do you want in life? What do you want in a relationship? And are you ready? We didn't even get to that part. We might have to do a part 2. Yeah. Are you ready for what you're asking for?
Right.
Okay? Y'all think about that, and we'll be back.
Peace.